Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Shaq Mack. I'm the host of Unfiltered Sports, coming to you live on the OG Network. We tune in every Tuesday and Thursday night here on the OG Network, and then every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Dog Basketball. And so I wanted to, again, welcome you in for Thursday night where we keep that same energy. Today, we got a very special guest on the show. I'm going to let him introduce himself shortly, but we got a very interesting topic to talk about. And once he's done introducing himself, then we'll take it from there. But I'm going to pass it over to my brother who I played basketball with in high school and known for pretty much almost all my life. So go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, it's nice to be here, man. I appreciate you for inviting me. My name is Shaquille Ellison. Yeah, and I love taking part in topics like this. I think that this newer era, they tend to appreciate different aspects about basketball. In our era, we tend to, appreciate the details that still exist in even this new era. So those are things that I love to talk about. I think I love to put a highlight on. And yeah, after you recently brought up the topic that we're gonna be discussing today, I definitely felt strongly opinionated about it. It's because I definitely feel like there's more biased opinions when it comes to this topic than people who actually have true knowledge on what basketball should really look like. So I'm glad to touch bases on this. Again, I appreciate for you inviting me and being here today.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we've actually done a lot growing up, especially playing basketball together. We talk about some of the all-time greats or whatnot, and so um, one of the things is that we all like our certain player that we follow. For me, growing up, it's always been Lou Williams. I've always been a Lou Williams fan. I followed him since he graduated high school in ATL. He was drafted by the Sixers, and then from there, we just kind of went and did our own thing with Lou Will. Watched him go back to the Hawks and play some great basketball. He won Six Man of the Year. Did a lot of good things. But today, we got to kind of look at the topic at hand, right? And so the topic at hand is how do you build a five-man roster to go 82-0, right? And so you got for $5, you got Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. That's going to be a tough one. At $4, you got Luca, Joker, and SGA. At $3, you got Ant, you got Giannis, and then you got Anthony Davis. At $2, you got Steph Curry. You got what that Devin Booker and KD. And then at $1, you got um, Halliburton, you got Wemby, and then you got Tatum. And so let's go through your roster. Let's see who you pick.
Do you have a list of it, or do I gotta like think of it off the top? Because I remember I commented on it. And I remember making the best team that I could using the $15, exception rule. I remember I went with LeBron James for $5. I believe
Mhm.
I had Luca on my team for $4. Am I correct?
Yep, LeBron, Luca. Then you
I know I
had
had Steph Curry.
Curry. Yep, that was one of them.
I had Wemby, and I can't remember who was my fifth person.
I think you might have put KD on there as well.
Did I? Was it KD or was it Ant Man?
Let me double check because it might have been Ant Man. No, yeah. I think it might have been Ant Man because then I went back and asked the question that I'll ask you shortly.
Yeah, because I do remember how I was thinking about it. I remember I had Steph Curry as my point guard. I had Luca as my shooting guard. I think I did have Ant Man at small forward, LeBron James at power forward, and Wemby at center. Yeah, that's my starting five. I just when I see this five, I just think of how versatile each and every one of these players are at their size and at their skill level. Like even somebody on the smaller end, like like Steph Curry. One thing I think a lot of people underrate about Steph Curry is how talented he is at scoring inside the paint. Like when you're the best shooter this world ever seen, that's easy. That's an easy topic for us to be distracted with. We have seen him go in the paint and throw up them high floaters and finish, over some of the best defenders in the league on countless of times. So again, like I said, I see this starting five and see how so much versatile with these guys. I truly think that any team game planning to stop this team is going to have such a hard time doing so. And what make it the cherry on top, I got Wimby in the paint. Like that's an offensive and defensive rebound monster. Somebody that's absolutely hard to stop, and it's not due to his power. It's strictly because of how lengthy he is. But he is also very talented. Again, sometimes it's so easy to say, "Oh, he's tall, he's tall, he's tall." We tend to like underrate how talented this man is. His jump timing, like you would know, like blocking a shot isn't a skill that you can learn. That's just something you pick up or you got to work hard to get better at.
Mm.
And I think his timing with blocks, his timing with out rebounding certain defenders, even while being boxed out by two players, is just absolutely it's ridiculous. When you got the world's best jump shooter on the team, I'm okay when Anthony Edwards take rough mid-range jump shots because I know there's a chance my guy Wimby can get it and dish it right back out to a Luka or to a Steph Curry, even to a LeBron James, who again has been showing in his older years a really good three-point option from the corner. So I like my five to be a really hard team to match up against.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I think that's a solid team right there. When I looked at my team when I first put it together, I kind of agree with one of my players who put his roster together, and so um, I put Wemby out there. I put Steph Curry. I took Ant Man. I put Joker out there, and then I put Michael Jordan out there. And so for me, thinking about it like that on an aspect, like you said, everybody has played in like a different era. So
Mhm.
like it kind of makes a little bit of different playing styles, different leadership styles or whatnot, which is okay. I'm completely fine with that. I like Jordan over Kobe and LeBron in this situation, mainly because if we look at the era that Jordan played in, the fact that he attacked the basket a lot more. He was beat up attacking the basket, but he still played a physical game. Not saying that Kobe couldn't do that, not saying that LeBron couldn't do that, but I think that Jordan overall would probably handle himself a lot better with trying to facilitate more, knowing that he got Steph Curry on the side right there, knowing that he got Ant Man over there, knowing that he got Joker down low as well. And I think he can do a lot more damage, knowing he has a lot more sharpshooters on that aspect. And so that's why I like that roster that one of my players I put in the chat as well. And so I like that opportunity right there. Um, that one though between Kobe and Jordan was kind of a split debate for me. Like I really
They're literally like A1 and AB. Like they're really the same player. It's two different eras.
mhm,
It's hard to really even put them two in a debate, I think. But I completely agree. Yeah, I can see why your decision could have been a little hard, but I see why. Again, I see why it was easier to lean against Jordan. Like even when we hear about how some of how players view Jordan in that era,
mm,
you hear interviews where they say like people feared Jordan. Like when they
right.
knew they could play Michael Jordan, people didn't sleep at night because they was too busy worrying about if he was going to embarrass them so bad that their career would be over. People they prepared for LeBron, but nobody feared LeBron.
Mm,
People they knew not to underestimate Kobe, but nobody was scared of Kobe. And like Kobe, if anything, Kobe was the type of athlete to motivate you to want to play against him for being great.
mhm,
People really didn't want to play against Michael Jordan, so I see why it's easier to lean towards him, especially when you're talking about having just a dog mentality. Again, Mamba mentality is something ridiculous too, but it was a certain gangster that Michael Jordan brought to the league in his era where I think everybody else was still trying to be suit and tie professional. He was like, man, I don't give a fuck. And I'ma still go drop 40. So I see why it was easier for you to lean towards Jordan.
Yeah, I think for me, like I think well, here goes Ben. Let's see what he say. You a LeBron hater. You will never give him credit when it's due. First off, this leads me to my next point of like this whole topic of debate here. So, uh,
But before we get into the next question, can I ask you a question?
yeah,
I mean, again, it's so hard to really like answer these questions because of how great these individuals that we're talking about is. But as much as I'm always gonna tell people that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time because he changed the way we play the game of basketball. There wouldn't be a LeBron James without a Michael Jordan. But again, when you're talking about a team that can go 82-0, Michael Jordan was a great facilitator. But you can sit here and look me in my eyes and tell me he was not a better facilitator than LeBron James. So again, if LeBron James is my third option, meaning throughout the first, second, third quarter, I got Steph Curry pushing the ball. I got him and Luka taking turns pushing the ball across court. That automatically slows the defense down and defending us because they don't even know who pushing the ball. They don't even know who we setting up these plays for. Because example, if I got Luka bringing the ball downfield and then you see Stephen Curry running behind picks, that terrifies coaches. So I could just use him as a stunt. Look, we're gonna have Luka bring the ball down. We're gonna have my center set a big pick for Stephen Curry, and while and as Stephen Curry is running towards the paint, we'll have him set a similar pick to get LeBron James open. And again, once LeBron get that ball in his hand, most people are running to defend that player so quick because it was the third option on the play. Most likely you already exhausted yourself on the first and second option. This is why ball movement is so important because for what? You make the defense higher, you get them running. So from that first and that second pick that was originally set for Steph Curry, and then Steph Curry set one for LeBron. By the time LeBron get that ball in his hand, defenders are running towards him. He's amazing enough to not only jump over them and finish the play, but he's also amazing enough to make the right pass, whether it's to somebody else that's driving to the basket or somebody that's been sitting in the corner through the entire play, just waiting for the ball to come their direction. And again, throughout his career, we judged him for making these plays. We judged him for not making these plays. It was, oh, you the king. Why you not taking the last shot? Then it's, oh, you the team leader. In these situations, if you got two players on you, you pass the ball to your open player. So I think he's the best person in this entire conversation on anybody on that list to make the best decision in that particular moment. Now, if you told me, Shaq, we down three, I mean, we down two with 2 seconds on the deal, you know my play gonna be designed for most likely Steph Curry. But I also think that Luka Doncic is a good enough shooter for me to use Steph Curry as a distraction. For me I want everybody on the defense to say this play is being ran for Steph. Let's get Steph, and then start off with Steph doing all this running around picks, making y'all think, yep, we knew it, we knew it. Whole time it was really to get Luka open. So again, I think when you got somebody like LeBron James who can facilitate at a different level than I think a Jordan did, I truly think that he was the best option for a starting five. Now and again, if we're talking one-on-ones, and we put some rules to the game, like nobody could do any back down, no back to the baskets. I think Michael Jordan going to eat.
right.
He has slapped each and every one of them in his prime. But if you told me we talking 5-on-5, and that's why I think people underrate LeBron James. He's the best 5-on-5 basketball player the world have ever seen, and it's not strictly due to talent, but some of it is due to size and height. Like the dude is huge. He's wide. You're as a guard, if you're being defended by LeBron James, you have to create space before trying to run around him. But if you think just the first step is good enough, what he's gonna do? He's gonna put it off the backboard. So from a defensive playmaking, uh, not just scorer but aggressive scorer standpoint, I think he's the better option at my four than the potentially substitute somebody at that four position just to bring a Jordan on who would probably have to play the 2 or the 3.
Right.
So again, I like I said, I respect the reason why you picked MJ. But I truly think that LeBron James is the right option for this starting five.
Right. So let's let everybody know, who is your favorite player of all time?
My favorite player all time from what I actually had to witness, I'm gonna say is gonna be Allen Iverson. I'm sorry, I could be I'm old school. Like I got that Viking mindset. If it don't say Philadelphia, it's not for me. I'm from PA. I rep PA. I'm from Philadelphia. I rep Philadelphia. I never understood how somebody could be born and raised in a city and rep for another sports team. It's like repping somebody else's last name. It's like me going real like I'm an Anthony. I'm an Anthony. Like,
Right.
no, you're an Ellison. Like, remember
Right.
who you are and where you came from. Now and again, if you got a father that was a big fan of a certain team and you grew up in that household, I can completely understand why you can be biased with your father's decision. But come on, Matt.
So it's funny that you say that too, because Ben is he's the person that we just talked about. He's geographically challenged, and I say that because when it comes to football, he's a Miami Dolphins fan only for Dan Marino. That's the only reason why he likes Miami Dolphins. But then he's a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, completely separate states here. And then for basketball, he's a Golden State Warriors fan. We don't even know why he's a Golden State Warriors fan. I just think he just likes the Warriors for Steph Curry right now. But
I mean, everybody gonna have their reasons behind why they like or dislike something. But me personally, I feel like me and Benz we wouldn't probably be able to be like sports friends. Like, we probably be able to be friends in every other thing in life. But it's hard for me to have a discussion with somebody about a topic when I feel more passionately about mine due to my connection to my city. You know what I mean? And then again, everybody gonna pick biased reasons why they do things, but that don't necessarily mean your biased reasons is flawed or is correct. Like, it's easy. Like, he could tell me whatever reason he liked the Warriors, right? I could sit here and say, nigga, you only like them because they won a few championships. I'm a real basketball fan. I didn't see a lot of Golden State Warriors fans when Monte Ellis was the star of that team, and I was a big Monte Ellis fan. A lot of people don't even remember that Monte Ellis and Steph Curry played together, and I
right.
can name the other players that was on that team at that time because of how much of a fan I was of Monte Ellis. But Monte Ellis would never make me a Golden State Warriors fan because I'm from Philadelphia. So just me telling you where I'm from should let you know exactly what sport team I represent. The Philadelphia 76ers. And it ain't no ands, buts, or anything else that can come in between them. My family roots was from Georgia, but I was born and raised right here in Philadelphia. So whether it's football, soccer, baseball, basketball, I don't care, hockey. If they get a wall ball team, guess
Right.
what? I'm gonna be a fan of the wall balls. You feel me? Because like I remember where we was alive when the unions got created. You think the first year they opened, I was like, let me see how good they is before I start rooting. No, day one.
Yep.
And that's just me. That's one of the things that I love about sports is it's unapologetically representative. Right. What's the one thing they always talking about? Oh, the Philadelphia the fan base, the energy here in Philly, Philly. I think that's why Philadelphia fans have one of the most notorious names out there is because of how much we love our team. And most Philadelphia fans are from Philadelphia.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, we got some in Dallas, but I've been to Dallas. Most of the Philadelphia fans that live out there even come from Philadelphia or got family roots from Philadelphia. Like, it's hard to really say, oh, I can go to any city and meet somebody that was born from that city that rep my city the same way somebody who was born and raised in my city do. So, like I said, it's hard for me to really sit here and to respect the opinion of somebody that I'm a have an excuse in my head for why you favor that team. Now, if
It's
somebody tell me right now, like, before this team, I'm trying to think of a team that's just been doing like horrible for years. If you was to tell me you was like right now, if somebody was to tell me they're a Hornets fan, it's easy for me to believe it because I don't have no history in the last 20 years of the Hornets doing something so historically that the fan base just dramatically jumped. So I would think with you being honest with me about being a team, a fan of a team so bad that's really a diehard team, and I will respect it. But if you telling me you're a Boston Celtics fan, then you can't show me proof from like 10 years ago. I don't care for it. I'm sorry. And I'm that passionate about sports that I can be rude like that sometimes. And I find extra ways to say it, but I just always bring to tell people like I never force you to be a part of this environment. You wanted to be here. You know what I mean? So don't be passionate about this. Be passionate about it. Don't just talk on it because I think we think it's potentially cool at the moment. So
Right, and that's the thing, right? It's like you said, we are passionate about our sports team, from the Eagles to the Sixers to the Flyers to the Union to the Soul. We are doing it big, right? We got a WNBA team in the works as well. I think that's going to be pretty awesome to have as well. But before we even jump into our next question that I had on the board, someone by the name of Herb asked, "Who do you have in D1 basketball for March Madness?"
Who do I got winning?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to say. I think this year in college football, I think this is probably one of the best years of prospects, and I don't think nobody else is talking about it. Maybe I'm just being a little bit like optimistic, but there's a lot of good players out there this year. And I mean, I could be being biased, but I like Duke, bro. I like Duke this year. I think they got a good team chemistry. You got the Booz brothers up there doing their thing. Um, he remind me of Jalil Okafor's story,
Mm,
but I do tell a lot of people Jalil Okafor was probably drafted 5 years too early. If he
mm,
was a little bit later, I think he could have had the same effect that a Jokic have, a Shangoon have. I think he could have had that type of effect with the right team. I think during the era that he got drafted, I think that was like the third or fourth year of us going into this 3-point shooting league where it was more shots being thrown up. I
mm.
think I think since then the league had remembered how important it is to have a mid range game, how important it is to have somebody who can be dominant in the paint, and it came from the play of a player like Jokic, a player like Kyrie Irving who can get real shifty at 3-point range, but finish with a pull up mid range. And I think Kyrie Irving brought the mid range back. I That's just my opinion. Crash me out if you want to, but I think Kyrie made that such a beautiful play again. And then when you see players that's dominantly doing it right now, like Jalen Brown. Remember, Jalen Brown played with Kyrie Irving for a few years. He got to see this
Mm,
dude in practice. He was able to, and he always had a mid-range game. And this might be another topic, another discussion for another day. But I always thought that Jalen Brown was better than Jason Tatum. I
mhm,
always think that he had more in his bag than Jason Tatum, as far as how he's able to. Like, there's a lot of games where in the first 5 minutes, Jalen Brown got 9 points off of
mhm.
three and things like that, and then when the game ends, Jason Tatum get the credit for the win because he hit that clutch shot towards the end of the fourth quarter.
Right.
Um, so when you see players like Jalen Brown, you see Cade Cunningham, you're starting to see more of these talented guards who mid range pull up is starting to be killer right now. I love the direction that the game is going into. They need to get rid of a lot of these fouls.
Mhm.
Uh, I hate this new step before the gather. Like when we grew
Yeah,
up
this stuff, yeah.
after the last bounce, it was two. So all this, oh, that's the step before the two game. I hate this. I hope that it's something that the NBA really take a look at attacking in the next few years. And mind you, don't take my opinion for it. The rating numbers has went down
Big
in the
time.
NBA over the last 5 to 10 years. And when people ask me why I don't watch it as much as I used to, I tell them because when I see a Euro step and you take 3 steps, the first thing that go through my head is if I could take 3 steps, I would have made that layup too. It's hard for me to view you as talented when I know you took an extra step, and then it really is a slap to the face when you on Instagram and the NBA Instagram page is highlighting these layups. Oh, look at this crazy play, and you like y'all showing him travel in slow motion and still bragging about this shit. Like it's
Right.
ridiculous.
I think it's interesting too because, like you said, when we grew up, we didn't have a gather step. That wasn't a thing. Like that gather step, you took it, it's a walk. Like that was it. And when we practiced taking those 2 steps, layup, taking those, one dribble shot or whatever. Now everybody want to dribble the ball multiple times or whatnot. And I think that's ruining the game a lot. And what is interesting too, what most people don't know when we talk about the history of the game of basketball, the the NBA was developed by the ABA.
Mm.
When the NBA bought out the ABA brought over the 3-point line. It brought over the dunk contest. It brought over all of that stuff. But now we look at, like you said, the gather step. We got a 4-point play, 4-point shot in the ABA. The NBA is trying to bring over a 4-point shot now or whatnot. So it's a lot of things that they're trying to do to bring back the analytics up. They're trying to bring that up. But why? I find it funny, and I've said this for over the last 2 years of having my semi-pro basketball team, is that the WNBA is going to start taking over the fans from the NBA because they're playing fundamental basketball, no gather steps, none of that stuff. It's strictly straight basketball, and I find it interesting because now their new contract deal that's coming in, they're getting paid millions of dollars, just like NBA players are getting paid. Not as quite as much, but they're getting paid millions of dollars now because of the game that they're playing. I find it very, very. It's rewarding in a sense because they're being rewarded for the fundamentals that they're playing. They're bringing people. Granted, like you had Caitlin Clark that started the fan base to come in and into arenas or whatever. Then you got Angel Reese, and then you got Paige Becker. You got Haley Van Lift that's in the game now. Like, it's a lot of people that's coming into the game that's transforming it. But in my opinion, like I said, and I could be crazy for saying this, but I think that the WNBA is going to keep taking over the fans from the NBA if the NBA can't get their act together as they supposed to.
And I think that's an amazing take. Why I will slightly disagree with it is because two things. And I actually had a female college coach who actually explained this to me, and it made sense to me. She said, in men's basketball, we ain't gonna even say the NBA because we talking college, high school, all that.
Mm-hmm.
In men's basketball, you got players who want to win, and then you got entertainers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both players probably have the same level of fame, but it is well known we have these two type of players. Now, these two players can do a little bit of everything, but they're always more well known for one thing than the other. So, for example, most of the entertainers, they become good at what? Finishing in the paint, dunking on people, you know? And most people who want to win, they take 3-point shots.
Mm-hmm.
The point that I'm trying to make here, now let's transition that same mindset to the WNBA or girls basketball. You don't have that same athleticism. So the way they're trying to entertain is through 3-pointers.
Right.
That's entertainment. So when you see a girl hit a 3-pointer in the WNBA, it's oh. When we see a dude hit a 3-pointer in the NBA, we kind of just like, he knocked it down. But when they dunk, we done seen this dunk 100 million times. This is our first time seeing him do it. Because I seen Carter do it. I probably seen T-Mac do it. I probably seen young Kobe do it. But the fact you did it today in this game and none of us seen it coming, when it happens, we mind blown, right?
Right.
So again, if you ask me, what is the NBA or what is the Basketball Association trying to push more than anything is entertainment, not competition. So because they're pushing entertainment, they're going to always profit more due to the fact that they have athletic players who can deliver that entertainment to the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Kids don't even care. They don't even know the difference between the 2-pointer or the 3-pointer. But when you jump out that gym, kids are jumping out of their seat.
Mm-hmm.
Even women who, oh wow, that guy got. You ever take a girl that never watched basketball to a basketball game and she still be impressed about?
Weeks later,
think,
still talking about it.
This is because we both known women who were very talented in basketball. So I mean this in no disrespectful way at all. But there's a level to things. And I think when you're asking for something that you're not producing, it's like if you have a business and the bank is asking you for a certain amount of money to pay off your loan, but your business is not profiting that. And it's like, how do I dish out something we just simply can't generate? Sadly, the WNBA make most of their money off of television, television views, partnerships and things like that. And if you ask me, I think they should be making more of an effort to be partnership with bigger companies.
Mm.
If they can get bigger companies to start partnering with them and get bigger revenues from these companies, then they'll be able to compensate their players in other ways outside of just financial distribution. For example, making your face a product. if I can't, like, part of your contract may come with this, but we'll allow you to open room for sponsorships from some major companies that we are already in contract with. You know what I mean? So when we want to start pushing certain stars, we can contact them and say, let's get this person a contract. Let's get them on some commercials. Let's get them maybe a little Super Bowl commercial where they say a line that's very popular, because that alone might create a fan base from a whole different outlook, might be willing to come in to watch the WNBA due to the fact that they see your faces in other places. Uh, I truly thought that was going to change once Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark got to the league,
Right.
because much buzz around her name, and you even see them now. They're getting the commercials, they're getting all the sponsorships. But if you ask me, there's nobody other than maybe the person who won MVP the last 5 years who got more money than Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And it's not, their money is not strictly coming from the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't say that that's not the first platform to even make them who they were. Y'all becoming up and coming young basketball players with a dream to make it to the WNBA is what brought you the fame and fortune that you have today. So if the WNBA is paying them a certain salary, but your bank account and your worth say you're worth more than that, that's what it generated for you. Now they can find ways to put all of that in contract. I promise you, all this conversation to shut up, because now they'll be able to read off the numbers due to everything that is the same way. If you own an airport, you're not going to just let anybody sell products outside your airport, because you know how much attraction the airport brings. So if you want to sell food outside my airport, you have to pay me for it,
Right.
compensate me for it. And mind you, it's worth it because you're going to profit so much due to the attention that I bring. So the business aspect of it, I truly think the WNBA will never be as entertaining as the NBA will be. And we got females who can dunk now. Like, there's even a guard female who dunking right now, and that might be the most entertaining player in the WNBA when she's on the fast break and can dunk.
Right.
But until we start seeing females posterizing females, I don't see that much of a change. So the NBA is not strictly watched by adult men; it's also watched by children, and
Right.
children don't care about all that female and male gender beef. They don't care about that. They care who can jump out the gym the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Because even young girls look up to LeBron and Steph Curry. They don't look up to Aja Wilson, and they don't. They kind of don't, unless you come from a family who's already been a big support system to the WNBA.
Right.
Which we all know some families are. Like, they go to these, they support, and they do these things. So again, I do think that some of the women in basketball are starting to be more skilled, detail wise, and because they're not as athletic, they can't get away with doing that third step a lot of times, I guess.
Right.
Because, like, that was one of the biggest things that coaches, I mean, refs used to look for. If you on a fast break and I throw the ball and you running underneath it, soon as you catch it, they looking at those next two steps
Mm-hmm.
with the step back jump shot. I'm starting to notice now it's like dribble, 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 and while the ball's still up this high, then they doing the step back into a shot. That's a travel to me. I'm sorry.
Right.
Because when we were growing up, our steps backs was more of a dribble, 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 and then it'll be a hard dribble. And before that ball get back up to our hand, we was already into our step back. So by the time we collect the ball, we can start going up into the shot.
Right.
So again, it's different eras, and I'm glad that the WNBA is getting the light shined up on it that it needs. I'm gonna say needs. I'm not trying to be respectful, but I don't think that there's enough talented players in the WNBA to require the same level of audience payments and revenue that these NBA players get or deserve. So, um, but I am excited about the Philadelphia potentially getting a females team. I remember like when the news first came out, there was like posts going around saying like, "Yo, the first 2 years, let's make sure we like sell out all the tickets."
Right.
Stuff like that. So if Philly do that, oh my God, I think that'd be so decent. Like it'd have to be like the Eagles doing some type of like let's do something together, and the Eagles fans is just gonna be like, all right, you know. So I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. And just to answer Herbie's question from earlier for basketball D1, I'm a huge Villanova fan. I love Villanova to the death of me. That's just how I've been growing up in high school, middle school. If you've hung around me, you hear me talk about Villanova all the time. I'm rocking my Villanova shirt right now. But I honestly don't think that Villanova is going to take it at all this year. They're playing better than they were the last 2 years, but in my opinion, Duke almost got upset today, which was crazy. But I did put in my final four. I had Duke, I had Houston, I had Arizona at one, but I think I got Houston winning one of my brackets, and then I got Arizona winning another one of my brackets. Just you know, out of upsets or whatnot. I'm big on underdogs, and I like that. But that was just me for that one. But college basketball, I really haven't followed much outside of Villanova this year, so I like to just go with underdog feeling on that. And but
Because Baylor looked like a threat early in the season, and then they had some injuries that slowed them down. If you ask me, what I think Villanova really need to do is I think Villanova need to offer one of these 5-star recruits a little bit more NIL money. I think when we were in high school, Villanova was in one of those top 10 schools for everything. Like if you want
mhm,
to make it to the NBA, Villanova top 10. NFL, top. I'm gonna say top one of the top 30 schools because
mhm,
Villanova not as popular with football as it is with basketball.
right,
But I think things have changed since then. With us seeing certain teams win the national championship multiple times over the past 5 or 10 years. Certain teams that we seen have like legendary games in the playoffs. Nova really wasn't involved in none of these major events. So I think because of social media growing and growing and growing and growing, like anything go when something the bigger something go viral, the longer it tend to exist in our world. Like one good game couldn't exist in our world for a year, where we done made memes out of it. Some dude got chopped and crossed over and did a split. Now he got memes all over the place. You know what I mean? The thing that, oh, if I send you this, just know I mean such and such and such and such. So I think with that, the world sees certain powerhouse teams as the team to go to, like Kansas,
mhm,
these big top type schools, and I think that Villanova like kind of fell out a little bit. I think they really need to ask, they need a prospect that really like that can really punch the league in the mouth, like
mhm,
just to like to show everybody like, yeah, Nova is one of them, like you know what I mean.
yeah,
And even when Nova did have its pushes in the playoffs and things like that, they didn't have any top ranked team players on their team. They were just playing so good of team basketball that they were winning against high ranking players. So again, they need. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, Nova need to hunt one of these 5-star recruits coming out of high school and say we're going to dish out a little bit more if you come to Nova. Like I get it, we all got a little price range that we try to, you know, 'cause we don't know how they game going to translate from high school going into college. But Nova,
right,
they can do something. I'm tired of seeing all these talented guards coming out of Kansas or coming out of this school and that school and this school. When we was growing up, all the best guards was coming out of Villanova. Like
mhm. Yeah, that's
so,
because they had Jay Wright under there. When Jay Wright retired, I think that put a hurt piece in the Nova thing, and that's just that. But from there though, last two things I got before we end it for the night is um, one, Ben, that LeBron video of me crossing him over is still on YouTube, so it's funny. I'm gonna keep it up there. But
yeah,
the the bigger thing is that we're in the LeBron era, quote unquote, right? But I've heard multiple times, want to get your input on, is Steph Curry being the man that fans look up to, kids look up to in the LeBron era compared to Jordan in his era. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. Everybody wanted to be like Kobe. Now in the LeBron era, they talk about, oh, I want to be like Steph. I want to shoot the three like Steph. So let's hear
but
your input on that.
you also got to remember, right? A lot of people who never played basketball on our level, they don't really understand the height difference with some of these players. So
Right.
let's be honest, Shaq. You know this. Like your average 5'9" person never played basketball against somebody that's 6'6", 6'7".
Right.
You know, so the point that I'm trying to make is it is so much easier to replicate what Steph Curry is doing
Mm-hmm.
than it is what LeBron James is doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna use Andre Iguodala as an example. Andre Iguodala was able to do everything that LeBron James was able to do. Andre can do. The only thing that separated them was LeBron had more of a dog mindset. He
Exactly.
said, "I'm gonna take charge and do these things." While I felt like Iggy had more of a team player mindset,
Mm.
and because of that, I think that why their career turned out differently. The skill sets, he was able to shoot the three, he was able to pass the ball, he had a great ball handle, and we seen him dunk on. I still think about that dunk over Ben Wallace. So
Yeah, but that's all the questions I got for today. We're going to end it here, so we're going to let you have your time back or whatnot. We appreciate you coming in on Unfiltered Sports, and every Tuesdays and Thursday on the OG Network, Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Dogs Basketball. And like I say, every single day here on Unfiltered Sports, we got no biased opinions here. It's no PR, none of that stuff. We do it because we love the game. We're true and honest to the game as well. And if we hurt your feelings by anything we say, so be it. We don't care about the feelings. So come back, join us live if you want to debate anything, and appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us. So you guys have a great night.
all right, man. I enjoyed it. Again, I appreciate you inviting me, but let me get back to work. Everybody, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Yeah, you too.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.